what's up? It's Jason Lucchese and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm so excited that you are here with us today. We're going to be covering something really important that I feel everybody as a real estate investor should absolutely know is your purchase and sales agreement. There's some things that I want to discuss with you in today's video that are going to be extremely important, especially with the things that we've been covering on the past few videos with dealing with REOs, notes, with banks, hedge funds, and credit unions. There's some words that you do not want to use because if you use them, they will not want to work with you. And we've also got some special verbiage clauses in the purchase and sales agreement that we use. And this is something that I've given to you in the past absolutely for free. If you do not already have it, make sure you leave a comment below and I'll make sure to get the agreement over to you in the comment section below. So make sure you do that. If you are not already a subscriber, make sure you become a subscriber. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in to today's video. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the purchase and sales agreement that we have. Now, this has been approved in the state of Indiana, so if you are in the state of Indiana, good to go. You don't need to have your attorney to review it, but I always encourage any new documents that you plan on using in your state, make sure you have an attorney review it. Just make sure that it's good to go from all the different types of codes, from being legal. So that's one of the things that you need to make sure that you're doing. If you don't have an attorney, there's several different ways that you can do it, and we'll talk about it more towards the end of this video because I want to jump in and talk to you about the purchase and sales agreement that we have. It's very easy to use and you can simply put it into your business right away. So here is our real estate purchase and sales agreement. I have highlighted some stuff on this agreement for you so that you know exactly some of the key points in making sure that you are setting yourself up correctly and you have some exit clauses just in case you cannot perform and maybe something is wrong with the particular deal that you have. Maybe the title having a lot of defects to it, you're not able to do it. Maybe the homeowner didn't tell you about certain things with the property when you started doing your inspection, your due diligence, and you just have to end that particular deal. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you, which is huge, is that when you are using this type of a purchase and sales agreement, you never want to use and or assigns language in the beginning section. If you are doing that with the hedge funds, the credit unions, or banks, more than likely you're going to use their purchase and sales agreements, which is completely fine. But at the end of the day, you do not want to put anything in there that says and or assigns. You need to put your company in there if you are operating as a sole proprietor, especially if you're going to be dealing with the hedge funds, the banks, the credit unions. You need to have some sort of a business entity for those. It will not look good if you're going to be operating as a sole proprietor. So I highly recommend that you get a business entity, and we'll be going over in this purchase and sales agreement the verbiage that we have so that you don't need to have the and or assigns information in the very beginning. So let's hop back in here. So also too, one of the big things that I want to bring up to you is that you can have this uploaded and ready to go into DocuSign so that you don't have to carry around your laptop, you don't have to carry around anything that is going to cause you from not being able to do the deal. You can have everything already auto-populated for yourself, and then if you have the property that you're wanting to do, all you need to do is have this completely uploaded into a DocuSign or a HelloSign, and you're good to go. You can have it completely mobile. You don't need to have your laptop or anything. You can send it all from your mobile, either it be Apple, Android, whatever it might be. That will help you out tremendously with saving a ton of time. So as you can see here, your company name, your company business address, your company phone number goes right there. This is for our type of agreement. Then you have the owner of record of the property you're trying to get, their address of the property. So this might vary. They might live in California and the property that you're looking at is here in Indiana. So that is going to make sure that you need to have the proper addresses in there because the seller's information might be different than the property information. That is where this information would come in right here for the property information. Right here is where you're going to put your purchase price. Right here is you have your earnest money. Typically what we do for earnest money, it's going to range from anywhere from $500 to $2,000. Now, a lot of you might be freaking out, especially if you're wanting to do this as a no money down strategy. And trust me, we've got special verbiage in there so that you don't have to come up with that money right away. So don't start freaking out about that. Closing date, we typically set that for 30 days out, 60 days out. And if you want to use this real estate purchase and sales agreement within your your lease option type deals, all you need to do is go ahead and put your closing date for 2, 3, 4, 5 years into the future, and that's also a good thing. For possession date, if you're using this as a lease option deal, would be immediately, so you could use this as well. Possession date for when you want to purchase it is going to be the exact same as your closing date if you are doing this from a wholesaling transaction. Make sure you have your title company and or attorney name right there. Some people are in an attorney state, so they will need to use an attorney there. The title company, the closing agent information. Also too, one of the things that I would recommend that you take a look at in your state is who chooses that. Is it going to be the seller or the buyer? Different states have different rights, so you just need to make sure who selects that. We always recommend and encourage, hey, can we use our title company? We can save on costs. We close lots of transactions with them. So is this something that we could do? Most of the time, they're completely fine with it. Now, section 1 is pretty self-explanatory. You could review that yourself. Section 2 is also pretty self-explanatory. The main thing that I wanted to show you on section 3 here, deed and evidence of title, is this section right here, which is really important to take a look at, is seller will be responsible remedying of or removing the title defect, or its election may choose not to cure the title, in which case the buyer may waive the title defect and proceed to closing, or may terminate this agreement, in which case any earnest money deposit and or any other funds held in escrow by the closing agent shall be refunded to the buyer. Now, this is important. We always have our funds. We never give earnest money deposits straight to the owner of record. We put it in our title company's escrow account until everything is ready to go, so that that individual can't just walk off with the money. In these types of cases where there might be a title defect and we have an issue and we don't want to do the deal anymore, we could get our money back because that's what it states in the sales agreement that we have. So it's really important. Put it in the escrow account, so it might be with the title company, might be with your attorney. Just make sure it's held there until the actual closing date. Now, as we go on here, you can see in section 5 here, this is going to be really important. This is something that we use in our purchase and sales agreements. Earnest money deposit shall be delivered to the closing agent 3 business days prior to the closing date. Now, do you think that's something that would be helpful for you? Now, sometimes some owners want the earnest money maybe within the first 10 days of you signing the purchase and sales agreement. Some might not be comfortable with that, and that's completely fine. The only reason why we have this in there is if we need to do negotiations, that's completely fine. All we're trying to do at this point in time is so that we can put together a buyer, so that we can assign the deal to that end buyer and we could get the earnest money from that individual, so we don't have to come up with that ourselves. So if this individual is asking for $2,000, we're going to ask for $2,500 or maybe even $3,000 as a non-refundable earnest money deposit from our ultimate end buyer that's going to be doing the assignment of contract deal with us. So that will help you out quite a bit, so that you don't have to come up with the earnest money yourself and you can have a true 100% no money down strategy. And this is how it works with verbiage like this in your contract. And section 4 here, which we just went over, it's just talking about taxes and assessments. You guys could go ahead and read that in the contract that I've already sent to you. Number 6 here, allocation of costs. It's pretty self-explanatory. Those are normal things that we have in there from a legal standpoint. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you about, if the individual, the owner of record, fails to cure any of the defaults, maybe with title, anything with the property, that will give us a right to go ahead and get out of the contract, and we go ahead and get our earnest money deposit back if we've already given them the earnest money up front. Now, section 8 is for individuals that may have a real estate license. If you do have a real estate license, you have to disclose that. That is very, very important, so that individuals can't come back to you and say that you took advantage of them as a licensed sales professional. So you guys can go ahead and read that at your own leisure. Now, if you don't already have our purchase and sales agreement, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make sure that I get that over to you. If you are liking this video already, make sure you give me a thumbs up. I just want to make sure that this information is relevant and it's helping you and your business. So let me go back in here to the last section here, which is going to be the big one that you need to know about. So miscellaneous provisions, this is where it really allows us to do the things that we need to do as investors, as individuals that are going to be doing this as a wholesale transaction. I've highlighted this section already here for us. So let me cover this. This is buyer will have access to the property, show the property to business partners, lenders, inspectors, contractors, and prospective purchasers, and may display in a conspicuous place on the property. prior to closing one or more for sale signs. Further, seller understands it is the intent of the buyer to promptly resell the property for a profit, and seller authorizes buyer at buyer's option as attorney in fact for seller to sell, market, negotiate, and enter into a contract to sell or lease the property to a third party on behalf of seller before buyer takes title. Now, those are the big items there. I want to make sure that you understand and you are aware of that. These are the things that are going to help you as a real estate investor to go ahead and market that property and get that property off the books as quickly as possible so that you can make the highest amount possible with your wholesale deal. Now, as you can see here, timing of the essence at the bottom here is very important. Now, one of the things is buyer may cancel the said real estate purchase agreement if seller failed to disclose to buyer that may reveal through inspection, appraisal, broker price opinion, and or upon receipt of full title report. So that's giving us another out. That's giving us another clause so that we can get out of the contract if we need to, if the deal isn't making sense, if for some reason title's coming back, appraisal's coming back wrong, if everything's coming back wrong, that's giving us our exit strategy to go ahead and get ourselves removed from this purchase and sales agreement, because you don't want to enter into agreements just to enter into them, because you're going to give yourself a bad name if you don't close, and individuals are going to start picking up on that, and you do not want to be known as the individual that gets properties under contract and you never close. So as we start to go in here, the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. We have the duration of the offer, which we talk about at the beginning. Normally it's between 45 days is when we have our contract period, and then it's good to go. This is our purchase and sales agreement. It's only 2 pages, and it's very easy for sellers to understand and read through, and most of the time they don't even have their attorneys present, but we always encourage them, hey, if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you have your attorney just go and make sure that everything is good to go and that you're being properly protected. By having you go ahead and push, hey, use your attorney. We want you to do that. It's just showing confident that you are good to go with your purchase and sales agreement and that you don't have any reservations about doing the deal, because you want to proceed forward, and it's completely fine. Let them go and take a look at it with their attorney if that's going to make them feel more comfortable and confident with doing the deal with you, because at the end of the day, we don't want somebody not feeling good about doing the deal, and you don't want to be over the top salesy with trying to get your agreement signed on the same day because you heard from some guru that it makes so much sense to get your deal signed on that same day, and you have to be very pushy with people. You don't have to be pushy at all. Just let them do their thing. Make sure that you're following up. Make sure that you're adding the most value, because you will, especially if you're already a subscriber of the channel. You know that we are all about adding value to folks, that we are making a difference, and that we're helping and we're creating ultimate win-wins, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that they are feeling like they are winning and that we are also winning. Hey, if you enjoyed today's video as much as I did giving it to you, make sure you become a channel subscriber. If you do not already have our purchase and sales agreement, make sure you leave a comment below, and I'll make sure to get that over to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the information that we shared today, make sure you give a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it as we smash that YouTube algorithm and get this information out to as many people as possible, because right now we want to try and help as many people as possible that are down on their luck and they're just trying to make a difference within their real estate investing business. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I did, because knowing about the purchase and sales agreement stuff when I was first starting out, this would help out a ton. So hopefully you were able to get a ton of information from this as well. So I will see you on our next video, my friend. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Bye now.